Boys, today we're going to go through every single division, pick out that champion, and we're going to go through everything that they need to do in order for them to become the GOAT of their division. This is pretty much inspired because, Alex Pereira is fighting this Saturday. I'm pretty sure I'm posting this on Friday, so tomorrow he's fighting. And I'm like, damn, what does this dude need to do to be able to surpass Jon Jones? A very hard thing to do. But, I managed to get every single champion on here and the interim champion of Tom Aspinall and some other sneaky guys on here, or what they need to do in order to become the GOAT of their division. And let's start off with heavyweight. Heavyweight, I have Tom Aspinall and Jon Jones. Let's go into Jon Jones first. Jon Jones, what does he need to do to become champion? Now, it's honestly not that hard. He literally, in my opinion, all this dude needs to do is go out here and beat Tom Aspinall. If he does that, he would have beaten Cyril Gane, the current GOAT of heavyweight, even though he was an old man, Stipe. Then he would have went out here and beat everyone's golden child of the heavyweight division, Tom Aspinall. So if he does that, in my opinion, he would be currently the heavyweight and light heavyweight GOAT. And that's if we're taking into consideration PEDs, but that's a whole other conversation. But yeah, Jon Jones, it's very simple. He just needs to go out there and beat Tom Aspinall. A lot harder said than done, but he's one fight away from being a multi-division GOAT. Let's go into Tom Aspinall now. What does Tom Aspinall do? Tom Aspinall has pretty much cleared out the light heavyweight division. He has defended his interim championship. I think this dude literally needs to go out here, beat Jon Jones, and me personally, I don't think that's enough. If he goes out here and beats Jon Jones, I don't think that's enough for him to become the GOAT of heavyweight. But I just think if he beats Jon Jones, he just needs to defend the belt one more time. He needs to beat Jon Jones, defend the undisputed belt one time, and then his resume speaks for itself after that. Yes, he wouldn't have the most title defenses on paper compared to some of the other people in heavyweight, but that's all he has to do, in my opinion, to become the GOAT of heavyweight. Let's go into light heavyweight, where this video is inspired by Alex Pereira. What does Alex Pereira need to do to become the GOAT of light heavyweight? A very hard ask, but Jon Jones has 10 title defenses at light heavyweight. Pereira currently only has 3. However, short notice does help. A lot of his title defenses, if not majority of them, have been being on short notice and saving cards. So in my opinion, that does boost up his GOAT possibility rather than it just being normal 3 defenses. But he needs to go out here and beat Magomed Ankalaev. He can't go out here and lose to Magomed. He needs to beat Magomed. Then after that, he needs to get 4 to 5 more title wins. And that, it's all depending on name value. If we look at the light heavyweight division right now, who can he beat in light heavyweight? We're not talking about jumping up weight classes. It needs to be in light heavyweight in order to be the GOAT of light heavyweight. In my opinion, if he beats Magomed, and let's say he needs to fight 4 or 5 more times. Let's say we get a Jan Blachowicz rematch. He gets a win again over Jan Blachowicz, because that was kind of like people have a little bit of an asterisk on that fight for Pereira. So he gets the Jan Blachowicz win back. That's 1. Then we look into some newer guys. Let's say Carlos Ulberg, 2. Again, this is so unrealistic though. There's a bunch of nobodies, but it's hard to pick who he needs to beat. If he goes for high name value guys, I would say he would probably need 4. Let's say Dricus Du Plessis wants to move up to light heavyweight. That would help out a lot. He wouldn't need as many title defenses if he gets someone like a Dricus and he gets all of his resume. But yeah, 4 to 5, depending on the name value, maybe more if they're a little bit weaker. But yeah, it's so hard to beat Jon Jones's 10 title defenses, If we're talking about like clean, if we're not talking about PED poppers, a little bit more attainable, after that, I would say DC would be the light heavyweight GOAT if we're talking about clean guys that haven't popped officially. And yeah, it would be a lot more attainable that way, but 4 to 5 to beat Jon Jones and to be, in my opinion, everyone's number 1 agreed upon light heavyweight GOAT. And you also have to think about times have changed. It's harder to get stupid amount of title defenses in this age of MMA compared to when like Jon Jones, Anderson Silva, Demetrius Johnson, people like those, when they were champion. It's a lot harder nowadays. So less title defenses is more impressive than a bunch of them in this day and age. Let's go down to middleweight. Dricus Du Plessis, he currently has 2 title defenses, but they're against some pretty good opponents. Anderson Silva, in my opinion, middleweight GOAT, 10 title defenses. Now, What does DDP need to do? I don't think he needs to come close to 10 title defenses because, like I said, times have changed. It's more impressive now to get less because of the level of opponents than to stack up names against a bunch of like milkmen, to be honest. But I think Dricus needs 5, maybe 4. You know, if he gets past Chimaev, I would say 4. If he doesn't get past Chimaev, he's not going to be in conversation. But yeah, if he can get past Chimaev, probably 4, because the names on this dude's resume is insane. He would have had, let's say he gets past Chimaev, he would have Chimaev, a boogeyman in this division. He would have Israel Adesanya. He would have Sean Strickland twice, Robert Whittaker, and the list goes on and on. After Chimaev, he needs some, in my opinion, new generation fighters, because I just listed off a bunch of old gen. So if he gets past Chimaev, that's a new gen. We can do like a Nasruddin Maivov, that's a new gen. Kaiho Brahalio, new gen. I don't want to see, you know, like Robert Whittaker, Jared Cannonier, Marvin Vettori, people like that. Anthony Hernandez, I would accept. Just a new generation of fighters, but that's a very hard ask. But if he can get past 4 of those dudes, I don't think he needs 5 actually. If he gets past 4 more dudes, including Chimaev, let's say real quick, Chimaev, Nasruddin, Kaiho Brahalio, and Anthony Hernandez. If he gets those 4 on his resume, I would consider him middleweight GOAT. But let's go down into welterweight. Belal Muhammad is trying to get past GSP, in my opinion. And GSP had a good amount of title defense, but, you know, the times have changed. Belal Muhammad has 0 title defenses as of right now. I just think this dude needs 5. I think this guy, if he gets 5 title defenses, again, depending the names though. Like right now, we're going to see him versus JDM. That's a good matchup. If he can get past JDM, we get Shavkat, and then maybe like a Buckley, Ian Gary, and who else could we see on this? Maybe a Carlos Prates if he keeps running through the division. If he gets 5 names like that, I personally think he can be in conversation for the welterweight GOAT, because to be honest, he had some really good names on his resume even before becoming champion. So yeah, and it's a lot harder to get lots of title wins in this day and age. So I don't think he needs to match GSP's title defenses. Let's just look at his current wins. We have Damian Maia, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, Luque. Luque was a really good win now, especially because it kind of looks like Luque's back on the up and up. We had undefeated Sean Brady, Gilbert Burns before he went on a huge like wash streak. And then Edwards, you know, even if he gets a Kamaru Usman on his record, you know, on paper, it looks good. So I don't think this guy needs a lot. 5 title defenses, which it sounds like a lot, but compared to these other guys, like Pereira already has 3, you know what I mean? And Belal has been pretty dominant as of recently. And again, we're looking at welterweight GOAT, which is GSP. GSP is also in conversation of just being the GOAT of the UFC in general. So very big ask for Belal Muhammad, but to be honest, I could see it happening, you know. Of course I could see Belal Muhammad going down as welterweight GOAT, which is crazy to say. It is what it is, but I could see it happening. Lightweight Islam Makhachev is already arguably the lightweight GOAT, but you know, his last few fights, he has the title defenses to match, but we look at his title defenses, you look at the names. We have Volkanovski the second time. That asterisk behind that one. Poirier, it's an okay one. Moicano, short notice. Asterisk on that one. So because of the asterisks on it, I think this dude literally just needs he needs one more. Regardless of who it is. It could be anybody in the top 15, to be honest, but he gets past it. He gets one more title defense. I think no doubt he will be the lightweight GOAT regardless of the controversies. Let's go down to the featherweight division. Now I have 3 guys here in featherweight because technically as of right now, Ilia Topuria is still the champion and won't be vacating the belt until Volkanovski and Diego land a punch. Now, I have Ilia Topuria here, Alexander Volkanovski, and Diego Lopes. Now, just in case any of these guys end up being champion, I'm going to go through all 3 of them and what they need to do to become champion. So, just in case for some reason Ilia Topuria last second says, I'm not vacating, I'm keeping the belt, blah, 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 and the UFC agrees with this, I think Ilia Topuria, he literally just needs to defend the belt against Volkanovski for the rematch. You know, there's controversy behind his win, so then he needs to correct that and make sure there's no controversy in the second one. Then after that, because of the names on this dude's resume, Alexander Volkanovski and Max Holloway finishing both of them, I think he would just need one more title defense against Diego or Mozart, and he could become the featherweight GOAT. It doesn't matter about the title defenses. He would only have 3 at that point. It's the level of competition and who he's doing it to. Like I said, it matters who he's doing it to, and it doesn't matter of stacking up title defenses to become the GOAT nowadays. Now, if Volkanovski can get the belt back, I think, again, he needs to beat Diego Lopes and get the belt back and defend the belt against Mozart Evloev. And then right now people consider him the GOAT. I think it will just solidify that he's the featherweight GOAT. If he can go on one more run and get another, he can regain the title and then go on another defending streak. You know, it doesn't have to be much. Maybe he gets the Mozart fight after, beats Mozart and calls it a career. If he keeps going on after that, I think regardless if he wins or loses after that, he'll still be the GOAT. Let's go down. Diego Lopes. What does Diego Lopes need to do? First off, he needs to defeat Volkanovski, which would be a huge win under his belt. Then he needs to defend against Mozart Evloev, the only guy that's beat him in the UFC. Then he needs to defend the belt for maybe more times, depending on the names, you know. Because if he can go out here, defend against someone like a Mozart, then maybe a Merab Dvalishvili coming up to become double champ, something like that, and then two more guys after that. I think there will be a very big conversation of, is he now the featherweight GOAT? But that's a lot of title defenses. Do I think he can do it? Probably not. You know, I still think Alexander Volkanovski gets the belt back. So out of all of these, I think Volkanovski has the best chance of doing it. Let's go down to bantamweight. What does Merab Dvalishvili need to do? In a lot of people's eyes, he's already the bantamweight GOAT. I think to solidify that, just defend the belt one more time. Even if it's a rematch, I don't care. This dude's resume is so overlooked that just run through before he was a champion. Who does he have on his resume? Marlon Moraes, Jose Aldo, Peter Yan, Henry Cejudo. I'm pretty sure all those are nothing but champions that he has on his resume before he was the champ. Then he goes out here, beats Sean O'Malley, then goes out here, beats Umar Nurmagomedov. That's a huge win. So regardless of who he's fighting next, if he beats the next guy in front of him, this dude is the bantamweight GOAT. Let's go down to flyweight. Flyweight, right now, Mighty Mouse is a flyweight GOAT with 11 title defense. Pantoja has 3. Now, does he need 11? Absolutely not. He needs minimum 3 more to be in the conversation, in my opinion. He needs Kai Kara France, which is so stupid because all these are going to be rematches. So Kai Kara France, Manel Cap, and then this is going to be a fresh matchup, like a Tamirov, a new guy, a new gen guy. So he needs those 3, and then maybe like for 100% sure for him to be the GOAT of flyweight and pass Mighty Mouse, he would need 2 more new gens after that. But again, he's already cleared out the division, and I can't say, oh yeah, he needs to beat Kai Kara France, Manel Cap, and then go up into bantamweight, because that doesn't count. You need to be flyweight champion, not bantamweight. So moving up doesn't make sense. Let me know in the comments below, is there anything else you guys would add for these guys to become the GOAT of each division? Am I missing anything, or am I just being too easy on them? But to be honest, like I said, I don't think they need to match the title defenses. I just think nowadays it's harder to get as many title defenses, and level of opposition is way higher than what it was back in the day. And yeah, let me know in the comments below, did I miss anything? What do you guys think? And out of all these guys, excluding Islam Makhachev and Merab, who has the best chance of becoming the GOAT of their division? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching to the end of the video, and I will see you guys in my next video.